So good morning all. Thanks for this joining this webinar. So let me introduce myself. I'm Sangeeta Bondre, working as a senior application engineer in Beacon. So today's webinar is on create stylish 3D shape designs quickly with cloud modeling solution. And here modeling solutions are xShapes and xDesigns, and these two available on 3D Experience platform. So let me tell you about the 3D Experience platform. It is a collection of cloud-based application. Just like a smartphone, there are different applications included by default or that you can add, which allows you to access certain functionality from your web browser. So let me tell you one more thing. So let me clear the difference between 3D Sculptor and xShape. So the 3D Sculptor is a role available on 3D Experience platform, whereas xShape is an application available on 3D Experience platform, and same with the 3D Creator and xDesign. So today I'm going to show you and introduce you few functionalities of xShapes and xDesign with integration of cloud collaboration. In this webinar, I will be working on redesign a carving knife with xShape and take that model back into SolidWorks to add higher level of detail manufacturing. So here are the steps generally we use in design department. So let's start this process on the 3D Experience platform, which is accessed through a web browser. This is my 3D Experience dashboard. I have tools like a cloud-based file viewer, bookmark files. The first I would like to focus is on 3D Swim community. You can see from on the screen that I have in the 3D Swim community. So 3D Swim is a message board, is particularly nice for keeping interested parties in loops, but not spamming the entire offices with replies. So you can see the images on the screen that I've posted in the 3D Swim community. So the next step is create the post and assign particular tasks to specific people with deadlines and attachment. So I'll just reply to the post that I am on the job, and I will also mention a coworker. So my manager have been created the task and I'm replying him on the community. So what I'll do, I'll drag and drop the assembly into SolidWorks from platform. After dragging, here you can see the two areas on the screen inside the SolidWorks. The task pane provides useful information like what file I have opened, who has control of the files, and what revision. So I'll gain right access of the file. So I simply need to right click and reserve it. I'm going to bump the revision of the legacy design by simply choosing save with options on the right click menu and checking new revision. So I will add a comment for why I'm adding this revision. So we are going to design the cordless model here, and I can also access other apps of 3D Experience platform in the same SolidWorks task pane, and one of them is collaborative task application. So this abstracts the post that was just created in the web interface, and I can drag and change its status from to do to in work. A huge benefit of cloud data management is for searching any data. Okay, now that I'm working on the cordless version of this carving knife, so I'll search the battery assembly. So after that, I will mate origin to origin. Okay, so this will line up the things for me. So, and instead of only saving the file locally, what I'll do, I will save this file through the task pane. This immediately pushes my changes back to the cloud. So common save options keep the file reserved and check out to me. Also, I can organize it with bookmarks inside of the same dialog box. Okay, so after observing the assembly, it is found that the previous shape is not very ergonomic and the battery completely interferes with the handle and sticks to the handle, so not very functional. So this is the job for the industrial designers, whoever comes up with the curvy handle shape. So I'm going to add a new loop. So what I'll do next, so I'll create one more task. Okay, so I just open it up and assign the work to them. Okay, so I can add a description and I'll keep it in to do maturity state, and I can assign it to specific a person or number of people. Even I can assign a group of people also. Here I will attach the relevant file, so there is no need to do search or questions about which file it is. They can grab it right from the attachment. So I'll head back to the platform. Okay, then I can simply drag and drop this assembly into 3D Play. So here you can see the 3D Play application. So 3D Play is an integral file viewer. So I'll use this tool to add some additional markup for others to see as well. So these are powerful annotation tools that are similar to eDrawing. Here you can measure text, a section, explore the assembly, and add markup. So what I'll do here, I'll capture the problem area as an image and post it into community. Here you can mention in the words also what's the problem. Then you can mention someone here to get an automatic notification about this change. So after publishing this image, I'll fix this legacy handle with subd modeling, that is sub-dimensional modeling. Okay. So this is a CAD functionality not available in SolidWorks. So I'll use xShape app. This is very powerful for creating ergonomic and stylish industrial design. So here I'm in xShape. You can access collaborative task apps just like you saw task pane of SolidWorks. Now I can move this at the task from to do to in work. I just drag the relevant file from the task pane. Okay, the environment, restructures, and interface, that's very similar and familiar to SolidWorks. It is pretty standard to create parts inside the assembly. So I'll start a sketch that was posted in a community. Okay, I would start with adding sketch picture. We'll probably know how to do it and get it into the right spot. So I'll insert picture. So you have to choose the picture. Then you can place on the correct plane. Then you can scale it with the help of on-screen points, and you can drag the image at the right spots. Okay, you can give the dimension also over here, and after this hit the green button. So what is new about subd modeling is it begins by inserting something called as primitive shape. So yeah, we have a multiple primitive shape available on subd modeling app. So a primitive is a digital clay that is subdivided into sections and that are controlled with points. So I will select chord ball and place at the center. So I'll keep things simple and start with low number of points. Here you can adjust the number of points. So you can push, pull, rotate, and scale these points to where you need them to be. So in areas where I need additional detail, I can just insert loop in the place where I need them. So I'll simply select an edge, and using the pop-up menu, I'll insert two loops across it. Notice that I can use pop-up right next to my mouse also. Okay, no need to go to the toolbar. Okay, so after this, you can also delete unwanted edges. So this is okay, like we used to do in SolidWorks. Then I'll begin with this. So this is my primitive. I'll adjust the transparency so that I see my sketches. I also like to enable symmetry in xShape because a lot of symmetry in my design, and as I work, these changes will happen on the both sides. You can see C2 level curvature with every adjacent faces. If you want hard edges face, you can do that with crease edges. So I'll adjust the level. So if you double click the edge, okay, you can change the level, how hard you want that face, and click the green button. So if you double click the any edge, this selects the entire tangent propagation of that edge. With this method, I will crease long edges or loops down the full length of the part, and my symmetry will take care automatically of the other side of the model. I want additional detail of certain areas, so I can just subdivide that faces to gain more control points. So I'll keep it simple. Okay, I'll select face. If you want, you can select multiple faces also. Okay, and crease those faces. After this, I need to work on the top side of the body. So where I'm going to use some selection tools. Here you can see the selection option we have in the sub-D model. So I need to be very careful that I don't unintentionally crease the bottom side as the top. Okay, because if the symmetry is turned on, it will automatically get selected. So I'm selecting the select the visible faces option. So I'm activating this command. So what I'll do, if the symmetry is turned on or I'm selecting through geometry, so here is the option, select invisible faces, whatever orientation you are in. So let me grab those face with the filter on. I'll subdivide this face and add crease to the newly created faces. Okay, after this, I will disable the selection filter. Okay, and I will activate the bounding box. So I think this is a good idea to use just to make sure that I was aiming for true overall size. So I can be accurate about the proportions through, though I am working with clay. So after this, you can scale it in 3 direction. Even you can give the dimension or values. So after entering the values, even you can adjust or you can drag that clay to the right spots. So I'll bring back the scale by changing the transparency and re-enable the symmetry. Okay. So now most of this is done with symmetry enable and by simply pushing and pulling points. I'm sure you have never done this type of process in traditional CAD surface modeling. Note that I'm not messing with multiple 2D sketches with splines, projected curves, or dealing with lots. And I'm getting real-time 3D feedback also. It is not necessary to enter and exit a 2D sketch to see the effect on the 3D geometry. This is really lends itself to create complex shape. Okay. So after this tool, I will show you one more tool, that is align entities by line. So I'll use this tool to get an exact straight line and a flat face. You'll get the control points and you can drag them where you want. Okay, I'm just going to drag this and get to the where I need it. Then I'll make sure I snap it vertically. So now I'll show you a very powerful option, that is quick align. With this, I could just freehand a curve out there with my mouse and the control points attempt to align with it. Here you can draw the line number of times. Okay, so I might tweak a few things here from the side view. Okay, so I improve the shape from the top view after this. So here I'll select the loops. So dragging the arrows will move them, but dragging this dots will scale them. Okay, so I'm dragging this dot, okay, in front of this arrow. So just like edges, we can select the faces also to push and pull the faces. Here you can, I can select the face and push and pull this, okay, from the back side, okay, to tune the overall shape like this way. You can adjust from vertical or you can rotate also. So far I have not worked on the bottom side. So one way to address that would be to extrude. So to add more material, I'll select face and extrude those, and then you can control the size. So let's just scale this down a bit and just use the some push pull scale and rotate tools to more closely match up with the original sketch. Now as I work here, I have finished up the design. Okay, and I want to point out that I'm going to get out of this is a real boundary representation. Okay, so that is the modeling tools and workflow in xShape. Okay, it is a very quick way to model extremely complex shape. So after finishing this modeling, let's take this thing over to SolidWorks and add some more detail, okay, for manufacturing purpose. So of course, I'm starting out again in the task pane of SolidWorks, okay, where I'm notified to check out the new design since it wasn't attached. I'll just search it up real quick, and now what I'm going to do is create a new SolidWorks part that I drag and insert the xShape component into this. Okay, so I got this file. So after adding, I'll add the shell and other SolidWorks features. Okay, you can add whatever feature you want. You can even split that component also. You can add cut extrude. Okay, so after adding these features, what I'll do, I will make an interference detection. Okay, we have available in SolidWorks. So if I calculate the interference detection, I'll get so many interference in the assembly. Okay, so this is again I have a job for me that I need to edit the handle that I have created with the help of xDesign. So I'll save it. Okay, after this I will go to the collaborator task where I'll mention that the work is not up to mark. So I will assign coworker also that there is still some problem to correct it. Okay, then after creating the task, okay, let's jump back to the xShape. Okay, so to edit this handle, so what should I have done somewhere along way was simply show all the components. So I will edit that component. So before that I have to edit subdivision surface, and then I'll change the transparency of the component to avoid the interfere. But it is really no problem to get back into the original shape and edit all the same control points just by pushing and pulling handles or maybe adjusting the bounding box. So I'm just going to eyeball a few adjustments, but I want to point out that you can also right click any of these control points and make sure you are moving them along an x, y, z coordinates as you can see on the screen. So I'll select the x, y, z. So for accuracy sake, let's get a little fancier. Okay, so I'm gonna do is add angle. Okay, on the front face. So for this, I will use the arc bend. So for fancy look, I want to show you how to flex the entire thing using a arc bend tool. So this tool allows me to place a handle and choose which points I want to control and then simply bend them one direction or another. So take a look, I can pull this whole part up or down. Okay, I have done so far in bulk with this one arc bend. So it's again interfering. So I can again push pull the control points. So after finishing this work, okay, I'll do the draft analysis. Okay, so it will tell me about the mold that I have to create, how to I create. So I'll check for the view angle. So after this, I got that this edge is not up to the mark. So I will adjust and again I will check out. Okay, it's looking perfectly fine. So after completing the design change, okay, I will again notify to the manager that I have done the task and I have completed. Then we will come to the documentation. So before that, you need to reload the design change. Okay, so I'll click reload from server, and after reloading, it will update in the SolidWorks. Okay, after updating, what we'll do, we'll make the drawing of this component. So I'll open it into its own window and I'll check out that it is correct or not, and I'll make the drawings. So I'll assume that you know how to create the drawings. Then after in the drawing interface, you can add the views, you can project the views. Okay, you can add the current views also. Then you can take the details view also, and after this you can save this drawing onto the cloud. Okay, so this is our, we have completed the job, and we need to update to the our manager. So I will again go to the same task, and in the deliverables I will attach the documents, and I'll inform my manager that I have completed the job. So you can chat also that we have done and the drawing has been attached. Please check out the drawing. So this is the workflow we use in design department for any component or any finish work. So after this, okay, after the documentation of the xShape, I will show you the about the xDesign. So this is all about the xShape. So I'll tell you about the xDesign. So in the xDesign, we will see the part modeling and the assembly modeling. So I will be working on this stand. Okay, this is the interface of the xDesign. It is very familiar and similar with the SolidWorks. Okay, you have reference slide on the right side. This is the graphics area. On the left side, you can see the feature manager tree. Okay, then this is the yoke component we are going to design in xDesign. Okay, we have already the design, but we are going to create new one from the scratch to know about the xDesign. So as you know, what we do for the scratch or to draw the sketch, we select the plane to draw the sketch. So here I have selected the plane. Then we have the sketch tab. Here we can see all the entities available here, like SolidWorks has. So I'll select the circle. Okay, I'll draw one circle. I will again draw one more circle. You can dimension it also. Okay, so for the dimension you can select and enter the value in the graphics area only. Here you can see the 50 mm I have entered. Then I'll dimension the inner side circle in the same way. You can change it to the diameter also. So after entering, you can keep this aside from the 50 mm dimension. So after creating the sketch, I'll see the 3D view. Okay, after this, I will exit the sketch and I will extrude this design. Okay, this two sketches. So here you can see this is the normal procedure we use in SolidWorks. So it is not much difference between xDesign and SolidWorks. Here you can see the mid plane also. We can select for the direction. After extruding, I will again move to the next sketch. Okay, this is also on the middle plane. So I'll keep the 3D view and I'll draw the new sketch. Okay, this is how I can create the sketch. Okay, you can dimension also. After the drawing the sketch, again you can extrude in the same way. Okay, after the extruding this sketch, you can mirror also. You can take a section view also and check out what you have done. Okay, then you can add the fillet as we used to do in the SolidWorks. Then if you want to shell, you can shell those component. Okay, so I'll make one sketch, and with the help of that I will remove some material. So here is the sketch. Okay, you can use the shortcut toolbar also with the help of S key. Okay, then you can extrude this. We have multiple options available: add, cut, new, solid, thin, surface. We have blind option also. Okay, you can mention the distance if you want. Okay, if you click on the arrow, you have extrude, revolve, and revolve. Okay, option. These three options you can see. This is new. Okay, you can switch between extrude to revolve. We have same sub option like add, cut, solid as we have available in extrude command. Okay, so I'll cut this material. So and then you can mirror it also. Mirroring is also a similar procedure like we used to do in SolidWorks. After creating the this yoke, what we'll do, we will replace this component from the assembly. Okay, so for this I need to open the assembly. Okay, and I'm going to replace this. For this replacing process, you need to select that component and go to the assembly tab and select the replace component. Okay, this process is a little bit different than the traditional process. Then you can search this component into the 3D space. Okay, 3D space is the space available on the cloud. Okay, here you can enter the name of the component that you are looking for. I'm looking for New York, so I'll search by that name. So I have 5 results over here. So I'm not sure that which file it is, so I will add more filter. Okay, so on the left side you can see the 6W tags. Okay, this is called as a filters. Tags means filters, so you can add more filter to get the precise result. So okay, so go to the I will go to the source and I'll filter the X demo. That is the space available on the 3D experience platform. So where I saved that component. Okay, so I'll select that. Then before adding this component, I will preview it that this is the correct component or not. If you are sure that this is correct component, you can go and add this component. So click the green button, then you will able to see that replacement references command has been opened on the screen, and you can see the green faces on the assembly also. Here you can see. Okay, if I hover over the mouse on phase 1, it will give me idea about which phase I'm talking, or it's saying me. Okay, after the selecting that face, I will select the face from the assembly and I will replace those 4 faces immediately. Okay, after replacing, okay, hit the green button, then you'll see here some problem. Okay, it is not fitted properly. So what I'll do, I'll measure the that dimension why it is the problem showing me. So we have measure tool available in the xDesign, like we have option in SolidWorks. So I'll activate that command and I'll select the opposite faces I'm looking for. So here I can get the length. So here it's showing with the 10 mm length. So what I'll do, I'll edit the component inside the assembly, so which is also possible in SolidWorks. So here also we can do. So I'll either add 10 mm or I will type 34 mm. So that is not issue. So after adding this, I will hit the green button and I'll get the immediate response from the graphics area. So after doing this, okay, I can change the transparency of the other assembly components. Okay, we can see the slider. You can slide across it and change the opacity. So after finishing the work, so you can update this assembly. So this is all about xDesign. We have saw a few functionality available on xDesign. Okay, this is all about xDesign. So let's have a look on benefits of xShape and xDesign. So here are the common benefits available or have for xShape and xDesign. So you can work in single modeling environment, okay, which gives you the opportunity to focus at what you do the best. Then no hustle cloud. That means as a web application running in your browser with no installation or configuration. Then you can save, manage, version, and branch or merge your design with collaborate uh, with your team securely. Then you can share only what you want and control what other team members can do with the design data. Then uh, xShape and xDesign are designed to work with SolidWorks desktop and other CAD authoring apps on the 3D experience platform. Then no SolidWorks maintenance such as installation or updates to worry about. All you need is a web browser and internet connection. Then we will see the highlights of the xDesign. So it is very easy to use and easy to learn, as I shown you that how it easy to use. Then the main highlight of xDesign is design guidance. So design, what it does, it allow you to optimize the part, okay, weight, given loads and constraints. Then we'll come to the highlights of the xShape. So xShape has all the basic tools and features that are required to make organic looking shapes using subdivision modeling technology. It has an easy to use and intuitive user experience. Just like digital clay, the subdivision technology inside the 3D sculptor is a faster and easier way to create complex organic shapes than the traditional parametric surface modeling. So this is all about the cloud modeling application. Okay, xShape and xDesign are the application available on cloud. You can use those tools to create your component. So this is all about the webinar. If you have any doubt, you can contact us on the below IDs. You can see on the screen marketing@beacon-india.com and sangeeta.bondre at beacon-india.com.